bass and scup. Dan is going to summarize some of what we heard, I think, at public hearings, and we've gotten a fair amount of written comments come in. And as always, there's mixed opinions, particularly on the black sea bass fishery rule. It really comes down to when we start the season. The abundance of sea bass in our waters. They're very, very easy to catch. Everybody knows that. Everybody's catching the Boston Harbor pretty easily as well. So there's no question that there's a lot of black sea bass around. I'm not questioning that. I wish the quota was more than double what it is. We're working on that through other approaches. Dan, are you ready to pick it up?
Thanks, Paul. It's obvious that the scup and the black sea bass fisheries are related, but if we take them one at a time, we take the easy one, which is the scup fishery, because it's a liberalization. But I guess I still ask the Commission to think of these fisheries in their totality, because they are very related. One deal tends to catch both species, etc. Because the fish do both arrive in our southern waters by the end of April, early May. For the same reasons, they summer here, they spawn here, and they do provide commercial and recreational fishing opportunities. So the scup is much easier. It's a liberalization of our rules, not in reaction to an increased quota, but in reaction to the fact that we haven't taken the full amount of our quota in the past 2 years. And so even though the quota is being dropped in 2013 from 2012, we only took 60% of our state's allocation. And when I say its allocation, it's the summer period. There are 3 periods in the federal interstate plans. There's a winter 1, a winter 2 on either end, and then in the middle is a summer fishery that we receive a portion of the catch through the United States Fisheries Commission. So we are proposing to amend, liberalize our state rules to take advantage of unused quota that has been occurring in the past few years. And so there's really 5 things that are going on here, and that's on page 3, where we seek to allow April landings to count against the winter 1 period. The federal winter 1 period is January to April, and what we're suggesting is if vessels are landing scup during the late April period when they first arrive in our state waters, it would be appropriate to count those against the federal winter 1 quota. That's obvious. And so we would do that. The second is to liberalize the May fishery for hook and line and fish ponds from 400 to 800 pounds, as well as going from 3 days to 5 days per week. And we're thinking of this especially in light of the limited sea bass opportunities that people have either in the current rules or in the proposed rules. Either way, there is a surplus of scup, and we'd like to take advantage of that. But the next thing is we are creating a new June fishery. In the past, we haven't had a June fishery at all for commercial purposes, and so we're putting aside. We're creating a new fishery with a 400-pound trip limit and 3 days per week, Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then the last is we are liberalizing the summer fishery from 800 to 1,500 pounds, and that would be July until the quota is closed for the hook and line and pot fishing boats. We're proposing keeping the mobile gear trip limit static, although in the memo the director pledges if we do have a lot of unused fish to look into the potential of a late summer scup fishery. Right now we have a minimum mesh size for auto trawls that precludes most scup from being caught. They do escape the 6.5-inch mesh that all the draggers are using. And so it is something we could look into. The problem is we don't want to be looking at a mixed trawl fishery like we used to have back in the 70s and 80s when we had a 3.5-inch mesh and boats fishing all summer for a mix of things, squid, scub, sea bass, and blue. I think the things we've evolved to over the last 3 decades has been kind of, I guess, a more responsible partitioning of these fisheries of these species. We don't want to undermine that because we don't have much discard in any of the fisheries that we're dealing with right now. And so that's one of our fears. So that's the scub proposal in its entirety. And at the hearing, there was very good support for this. Almost all the folks who did speak positively about this proposal. So if you'd like to...
Do these one at a time now? That's what I think. Okay, yeah.
Would you like to do one at a time?
Yes. Oh, you mean scub or
Oh, the scub.
each?
Or-
Not each.
No, but
No,
the
this scub.
scub
Species.
species. Yeah.
Species.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the division's recommendation, Dan?
Yes.
All right, the division has put forth a recommendation, so we'll need a motion to either accept or reject. Chuck,
I will make the motion to accept as presented.
seconded by Reg. Discussion.